NFL draft, and there's a lot of buzz building on a guy who played a lot of his home games not that far from Detroit. JJ McCarthy is getting steamed up the draft board.
Yep,
According to reports and rumors that are going around, Jim Harbaugh, who's now the Chargers coach, has said that his former Michigan quarterback will be the first pick in the draft. He's just out there saying that.
He says the Bears are going to take him?
I mean, that's just him. Because
I know he's saying he's the best player in the draft, that he would take him one.
So because of all the chatter, DraftKings Sportsbook has now moved McCarthy from plus 2,500 to be the second pick to plus 500.
All right, who's the favorite? Daniels
Be
or
the
May?
number one pick?
No. Who's the favorite at number 2?
Oh,
Well,
I don't know that.
Oh,
No,
okay.
there's a story about the Commanders. Who was it that I retweeted it yesterday?
Pelissaro.
Tom Pelissaro.
Tom Pelissaro, yeah.
We have the audio here.
Really interesting because everybody's always trying to figure out, especially draft, what the other teams are doing. When I've had conversations here with executives for other teams who know Adam Peters well, know the situation well, the most popular answer for what they do at number 2 is JJ McCarthy. So a lot of drama still to come.
So,
That's crazy.
but I mean, that's him. He said it there that he's talking to guys from other teams that he thinks believe what Peters will do.
Of course, it's speculation. Nobody knows. But it does speak to the point that JJ McCarthy is kind of zooming up everybody's board.
He definitely is.
He's, people are paying attention. NFL executives don't care what mock drafts say. They don't care what some nerdy journalist at some .com writes.
Yep.
These guys have their own opinions. I know that Harbaugh went overboard saying that J.J. McCarthy's combine workout or pro day was the best pro day he's ever seen.
Right.
By the way,
look, that's his player. He coached
I was
him.
incorrect. We're less than a month away from the draft. It
Yes,
starts on
it's
April 25th.
Yeah.
So
a month
it's
from
less than
yesterday.
a
All right, well,
month
the
away.
current odds, and the odds, FanDuel doesn't know anything. They don't know who these teams are going to draft, but they set the odds. So currently, the number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, is minus 8,000 on FanDuel. Jaden Daniels is plus 2,500. Drake May is plus 3,000. JJ McCarthy's plus 10,000 for the number 1. Now, number 2, Daniels is the favorite slightly over Drake May. He's at minus 125. May's at plus 170. JJ's plus 400. So JJ is climbing the board because
No doubt. He's in the conversation.
2 weeks ago, he was, I don't know what his number
So
was
he
for
has
number
even
2.
shorter
I feel
odds there than he has on DraftKings. He's plus 400 instead of plus 500.
For the number 2 pick,
Right.
yeah.
I feel like I started this like 2 weeks ago.
Here comes the back batting machine.
I told you that JJ's my
Get that
guy.
thing oiled up.
Listen, I like Jaden. Jaden would be my guy, most exciting player. But I told you the guy I'm most intrigued by outside of Jaden is JJ.
Well, you
and
might get
I would
him.
definitely take him over Drake. That's why I had my guy Mike Marr change my board, zoom JJ up the board. But I listened to our beat guys, so Standig, JP Finley, I think maybe Fortier, all those guys, Kime, they sat down with Adam Peters, I think yesterday. And there's like 17 or 18 minutes they got with him, at least that I saw, that was on video. And it was interesting. And look, he could be lying, but they asked him a million different questions. Obviously, a lot of it about the draft, the number 2 pick of quarterback. And he said, look, he insists they are not locked in yet on what they're going to do. They're going to exhaust all options. I feel like they're going to stay at 2. But they're like, do you know what quarterback? And he's like, dude, there's a month left. There's a lot of time.
I mean,
there's
didn't
a
he mention
lot
he
of
hasn't even
information.
seen all of them throw in person yet. So
he's got a couple more guys.
He hasn't
to see
interviewed
him.
him. Peter
Gonna
said that
interview
yesterday. He goes, we haven't seen a couple guys yet. And I haven't talked to
They're
them
going to do
yet.
Zoom meetings. They're going to do person meetings.
Right.
And he was talking about all the information you can actually gather when you go to a pro day. Just absorbing the guy. Just looking at the guy. Just seeing his body type. Just seeing the way he interacts with his teammates. And he just talked about all the different kinds of information that you can get being there, seeing them live in person. I believe them when they say they don't know what they're going to do. And I think any of these guys are up for grabs.
I think they'll have a pretty good idea after all the pro days and after all the interviews.
Probably, but he also made a point, and you saw how deliberate they were in their coaching search, right? That they try not to be reactive.
Reactionary, yeah.
And you don't want to just be like, oh, that's the last guy I saw, I love him. You just got to take all the information, process it, and then,
it's a methodical approach.
They're very methodical.
It's way different than the past here. It's not Ron and his cronies. It's not Vinny Serrato like being a stooge sidekick to Dan Snyder. It's like a real professional organization attacking.
They're really doing this
right
way.
Which you like to see.
And there's also something very interesting, and I know Cakes might scoff at this, or I think you'll appreciate it.
They may be scoffing.
You might be scoffing.
Okay.
Because I think it was J.P. Finley that asked them about how do you factor in whether or not a guy's ready to play right away or not. Mm-hmm. And he talked about how that's definitely part of the process, like how quickly you think you can get this guy coached up. That all factors in. But he hyped up the fact that they have two quarterbacks right now in Jacoby and Jake that they could play at any time. They don't have to, or not Jacoby,
Mariota.
Jake and Mariota, Marcus. He talked about how Marcus has won playoff games before. He's very experienced. He's still got a lot of athleticism left in him. They'd be very comfortable playing them if they have to, and that they're not going to rush a guy. And and it made me think of Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't play Trey Lance.
Look,
and that they may draft a guy. They're going to draft who they think is the best player or whatever that fits what they're looking for. And then he said, and I know coaches say this, but I kind of believed it when he said it, we're going to play the guy that gives us the best chance to win.
And Adam Peters knows that this is not a flip the switch. It's a 1 year paste and cut and paste job, and we're going to be 11 or 12 win type of team. Like, he knows it's a build. So if he feels like
but think about it. When was the last time a number 2 overall pick?
I know it's rare.
Didn't play opening week.
It's been a while. I don't know if I can think of it.
It's a rarity, but if they feel like he's not...
he convinced me that it's a possibility.
He's not seasoned enough. I don't have a problem
probably
with it.
Mitch Trubisky.
He didn't play week 1?
I don't think he started till week 4. He was a number 2 pick.
So that's been 5 years, but
Well, he was sitting behind Ben, right?
Trubisky was drafted by Chicago.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
I don't know who he was.
Brain fart.
I think Dalton. I think Andy Dalton. I think. Might be wrong.
You might be right.
You know who changed, who's completely flipped on JJ as well, is Scott Zolak, who played QB at Maryland, if you don't know, played QB for the Patriots, and now he's a radio host in Boston.
Right.
He's a great
So
radio
he spent
host.
the last 2 months, I think, crapping all over JJ, like kind of the same thing everybody else has done. And then he watched his pro day, and then he offered a public apology, because they're covering this just as intensely as we are with the number 3 pick, and said that it was, I think, the best pro workout he's seen in a few years. He said
he echoed what Harbaugh said.
He said everything is 100% full throttle, like it's a go. Violent drop back, spin rates, getting outside the pocket. He may have the best footwork and feet and weight transfer mechanics I've seen in a guy in a couple of years.
He's falling in love.
And then he crapped all over Caleb Williams.
I'm telling you, Caleb's pro day wasn't impressive.
Caleb's feet in his workout, compare him to Caleb's feet in his workout. Last week we watched a couple of Caleb's throws. He's high over the middle, late to the outside. He's turning around. He's joking. He's laughing with guys. It seems like this kid, JJ, is pretty serious about it.
What if Harbaugh's right? What if the Bears
well, that
just
would be crazy.
Caleb Williams stinks.
That would be crazy.
And McCarthy's he's overtaking him.
That would be awesome.
It would be crazy.
I would love that. Although then we might draft his ass.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want him. I told you from day one I don't want Caleb. From day one.
We'll take your calls next on the MGM National Harbor listener lines at 800-636-1067. Are you buying the steam behind JJ McCarthy? His odds have shifted at the DraftKings Sportsbook from plus 2,500 to plus 500 to be the number 2 overall pick by the Commanders. Are you buying it, and would you like to see him here in Washington? We'll take your calls next at 800-636-1067. 1067 about the latest buzz around J.J. McCarthy. Will he be the number 2 pick here for the Washington Commanders in the upcoming NFL draft? In case you missed it, here's the Tom Pelissero audio from yesterday at the owners' meetings in Orlando when he was asked what he thinks the Commanders will do with the number 2 pick, more specifically Adam Peters, what he will do.
Really interesting because everybody's always trying to figure out as Fisker what the other teams are doing. When I've had conversations here with executives for other teams who know Adam Peters well, know the situation well, the most popular answer for what they do at number 2 is JJ McCarthy. So a lot of drama still to come.
So are you buying that first and foremost? And would you like to see J.J. McCarthy as the number 2 overall pick over Drake May, over Jaden Daniels? 800-636-1067 is the number.
Where else did you see? Now, let's get these stories all straight. somebody else said they could see, or Harbaugh's saying he would take him 1, or he thinks the Bears will do it.
He just thinks he's the best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah,
is
he
what
thinks.
Okay.
He hasn't said he thinks Chicago's going to take him.
No, he hasn't said that.
He just said he's the best quarterback in the draft.
Right.
Best player in the draft, I think.
Right. I don't know, man. And then I listened to, Adam Peters.
But, that being said, if Caleb Williams played for him at Michigan, he probably would say Caleb
Here's
Williams.
Here's a wild scenario.
Has he said that about every quarterback he's ever played for him?
Well, no, but this is JJ McCarthy is in the mix for the top 2 pick.
If you're Adam Peters, do you call up Jim Harbaugh, who clearly has a stirring in his pants, and say, "Hey, you want JJ McCarthy? Let's swap picks, and how about you deal us Justin Herbert?" I'm just thinking outside of the box here. Like, why wouldn't you move down to 5, get Justin Herbert, and then your quarterback situation
All right, let me ask you this.
seems to be solved?
I like
because he's not going to do that.
Well,
I'm just throwing it out there. Like,
there's no way he believes JJ McCarthy's better than Justin Herbert.
He may not believe that, but maybe he'd rather work with McCarthy
because
he worked with him in college.
I like he's thinking outside the box. It's a great thought.
I think he took the job. He took the Chargers job knowing, hey, I've got a franchise quarterback.
I'm just spitballing.
That's it. I don't think it's a terrible
thought.
If
I'm Adam Peters, I'm thinking of every single scenario.
Can I give an alternative to the thought? I like it. And I actually think Harbaugh would at least ponder it for a second.
I think Harbaugh's outside of the box enough that he would think about it.
He would ponder it. Is Herbert still young enough, knowing that we're years away from competing, that you want to do that versus getting a young 22-year-old or 23-year-old?
That's where Dan Quinn, that's where
I know. I'm asking
Kingsbury
you.
come in.
I'm asking you.
I think he's still young enough.
Was he 27 maybe?
Yeah, he's not that old. The problem is he's making a ton of money.
Not even.
Like, you'd be getting whatever quarterback you pick at number 2 at a rookie wage scale salary.
Right.
And that way you improve the rest of your team.
And you bring in Herbert, he's probably still not going to win for another 2 years.
He might not. Or he could instantly elevate the team.
He's going to instantly elevate you, for sure.
And then there's no growth curve for your quarterback. You've got your starting quarterback ready to go from day one. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just thinking of what Adam Peters, I
wonder how the Commanders fans feel. Because when we take calls on who you want, a lot of the Commanders fans want Daniels.
Right.
And
I'll tell you how they feel.
And even over Caleb.
I'll tell you how they feel. They hate the idea.
They do.
It's hysterical to me.
They hate the idea. I like it. They hate it.
I just whoever they pick, I just hope it hits.
The narrative on JJ McCarthy is he sucks.
System guy.
It was all running.
Mm-hmm.
He threw 4 passes in college.
He definitely has to overcome that. It sounds like he's overcoming it.
It's hysterical that Commanders fans are hating each other because you're either Team May or Team Daniels.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's this curveball.
Now they're
pulling their hairs out right now.
No, people hate it.
It's hysterical to me.
I think he'd be a great option. I think Daniels would be a great option. May be a great option. He's not my guy. He's Lurch's guy. So hopefully he hits.
Well, if you believe what you're hearing, they're swaying from that.
If I'm Peters,
they're not on him.
I still would feel like the price tag at number 2 for McCarthy is a little high. Like, I would want to move down a pick or 2 and accumulate some extra draft capital.
Right.
Now, if he gets snaked away from me by somebody else jumping in front of me, so be it. I have to have backup plans, but I don't know. McCarthy at number 2 just seems like a rich price.
But
where he's coming from.
There's really no. If it's 2 or 4 and he's the best quarterback, you're going to take him at number 2 overall. Yeah. You're not going to risk trading down someone else getting the guy that you like because you're trying to play a game of beating. You're going to take the best quarterback, and if they think JJ's the best, they're going to take him at number 2.
Yeah,
they're not going to monkey around with it.
Yes, they are. That's correct.
I agree. I totally agree. But it is funny that when I retweeted that bit yesterday, the people just mocking the idea of JJ going number 2 and coming here to the Commanders.
Not big fans.
No, he doesn't have a big fan base here. Now, I don't think that should factor in at all.
They're mocking it like they don't think it can happen, or they're mocking it because they hate it.
They hate the idea of him.
They hate the idea of him.
Yeah.
And listen, I get it. JJ or Jaden Daniels is way more exciting, way flashier. You're praying he's going to be our version of Lamar, but you got to look at all the possibilities. And JJ might be somebody that everyone just slept on because they had more of a pro style offense, right, in Michigan.
Sure, a lot of under center stuff.
So he might be more adept at being ready. And if you
But,
listen to
but to
who
be
was
fair-
it? Was it Zolak that said the best footwork he's ever seen or has seen in recent years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has worked
Light
out.
years ahead of Caleb's.
Well, Orlovsky did a whole thing yesterday on Jaden, and he basically said he has the same exact throw in motion as C.J. Stroud, the same exact tight.
That Jaden Daniels has.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels has.
Okay.
that.
So CJ Stroud comp is a good comp at this point. Like you're going to take that. You're going to buy into that.
All right, let's take some calls. How are you feeling about this? The latest that Tom Pelissero reported yesterday that people he's talking to, and I don't know, it's just a general term, NFL execs from around the league, who knows who they are, believe that
sure they're
McCarthy
people.
will be the number 2 pick.
Let's go to Reese, St. Mary's. Reese, what's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy? How y'all doing?
What's up, Reese?
What's up, bro?
All right. I don't think he's been battle tested. I'd rather take a man that's been battle tested and not just anybody, because anybody can do a pro day on time.
You don't think
and
he's
all
been
that.
battle tested at Michigan?
Yeah, but not the way. He didn't do what he supposed. He didn't do the things that he did to be number 1 or number 2 or number 3. I want a guy that already know what he can do and how he's performed out there. I wouldn't take a chance on getting him. And I mean, if that's the case, you might as well move down and go get him and get other picks. Then, if that's the case, then I see it doing that. Or I like with what he said. Yeah, if he that good, you take him and give us the other quarterback that you do.
Caleb? No, I don't want Caleb.
No, he's saying Herbert, right? You're saying Justin
Yeah,
Herbert?
Herbert.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, Herbert,
If you read good, because this is how you win. If you think he's better than Herbert, if this is how you win because you ain't got to pay Herbert and you got him for 3 or 4 years. See how smart he is if you want him then and trade us like that. If he don't want to trade us, then you know all that stuff he's talking is just hoopla.
Right. I believe it is, but who knows?
Yes, sir.
Well,
Thank
we'll
you.
see. I mean,
All right, thanks for the call.
JJ McCarthy went to back-to-back college football playoffs.
Yeah, I think he's been battle tested.
He won a national championship.
Yeah.
I mean, he's certainly been battle tested as a player. Now he's not putting up the stats that some of these other guys are, but look, if Adam Peters and Dan Quinn and Kingsbury, they all look at all these quarterbacks and go, he's the best. They're going to take him at 2.
Look, I just think he just looks so smooth and athletic when I've seen him play. I mean, he hasn't put up dramatic numbers, but I mean, he just looks the part to me.
If anything, JJ McCarthy is so much more battle tested than Jaden Daniels or Drake May,
100%.
or even Caleb Williams.
I mean,
In terms of battle testing, correct. Yeah, he's played in bigger games.
play at Michigan for 100,000 people multiple times. How many times?
It's a playoff. Goes to the playoffs. Yeah. He's a 3-year starter.
Yeah.
National
Yeah,
championship
he didn't
games.
opt out of his bowl game like Caleb Williams. He actually had
Yeah.
something to play for.
You sent me a video of Caleb that is wild. That's all I'm going to say.
I could tell you're on tilt.
Oh my God, it kind of falls in line with some other thoughts I might have had. All right, let's go to Reggie. Reggie's really upset. Reggie, what's up?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Ray?
Hey, buddy.
There's no way you could pick this trash at number 2.
Uh-huh.
I mean, when does the tape stop mattering? Like, when do you just ignore the tape and look at a dude in a pro day where nobody's chasing him? We watched the Michigan. Michigan was probably, maybe 45%? JJ, come on. You cannot pick this clown at number 2.
Reggie,
He's
don't
Mac
you,
Jones
Reggie,
2.0.
hold on, Reggie, don't you think Adam Peters has watched multiple game tapes of JJ
Yes.
McCarthy? He's not just watching what he does in the pro day.
And that's why I'm trusting him, because if this bozo drafts this dude at number 2, what is special? Tell me what's special.
Are you going to
Number
question
2
him?
is supposed to be franchise-changing. No doubt it's special. When he gets on the field, you know it's going to be electricity.
what did
Tell me
you-
what's special.
Well, probably, when you watch him at Michigan, it's not kind of blowing you away on what he can do. But maybe in the pro days, if they say, all right, we can put him in a different offense that's not heavy run, he does all of the,
So do
it's
you
all
not
the
like-
analytics and all
What
the
is it
metrics.
that you don't like? You don't like the 5-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, or you don't like the 72% completion percent? What is it that you don't like?
Okay, hold on. If you're throwing bubble screens, if you're throwing 6-yard passes, if you're throwing 9 passes a
The
game,
average
you can
yard
complete.
per attempt was almost 10 yards.
Okay, I don't know how much you watch college football like myself and maybe Lurch. There's no way you're
I watch
telling me
Michigan
that
a
JJ
decent amount.
McCarthy was the second best quarterback last year. No, not even the year before.
Maybe not overall in college, but what you're projecting. How's he going to fit at the pro level? I don't think
Is
anybody
he going
thought.
to fit into Kingsbury offense of what we know it to be? No.
Why not? He's athletic.
Really?
He can run.
He can actually move.
Yeah.
Man, come on, man. Y'all cannot. I'm going to pull my eyeballs out. You cannot draft this bum
We're
at
not
number
doing
two.
the draft. You're acting like we're pulling the trigger on who's getting drafted.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But then also, I
am
don't want to get
influential. We are influential.
Are you going to question Adam Peters
Absolutely.
and Dan Quinn if he takes McCarthy?
Absolutely. And then also, what is going to give me kind of right now? I'm remaining somewhat calm. We didn't even know Dan Quinn was going to be the coach. Everybody kept saying Ben Johnson. No, we're going to do our due diligence. We're going to hold tight. Nobody knows anything about this organization right now versus, years prior.
Well, I know this.
So all this
They're in
speculation,
better
I'm not
hands
even buying it.
personnel-wise now than they've been in the
Thanks,
last
Reg.
30 years. With Adam Peters and the crew that he's bringing in, I trust them more implicitly than Ron. Than anybody that Dan brought in during his 25-plus years here. So you have to trust them to do what they're hired to do.
I think, yeah. I
think we have the best decision makers since Castle and Beathard.
I find this hysterical. I find it hysterical.
People are already attacking Adam Peters. They have the knives out already.
That if Adam Peters takes JJ McCarthy number
gonna
2,
jump off the bandwagon.
Yeah, they hate him.
They don't trust him.
They're going to have their pitchforks ready. It's hysterical to me.
It's pretty funny.
Everyone, this guy can't do anything wrong, and now all of a sudden they're not going to go get their guy, and they're going to go be ballistic because they draft JJ McCarthy number 2.
But that's how these fans are, man. They're so reactionary. I mean, it's just one guy's report.
Right.
We have no idea if Peters is going to take a 2.
I think
just one guy's report.
it just shows, though, that anything is in play.
Yes.
Anything is in play.
With that.
I'll tell you, the real wrinkle will be if Harbaugh's right and Chicago falls in love with him.
That would be like if his name goes number 1.
Hey, send that video
it's a huge
to
wrinkle.
Lurch. Send that video to Lurch.
Drab said it last week, though. He says, how do we not know they're so tight-lipped? How do we not know they like JJ? Drab literally said this last week. Yeah. And we just kind of scoffed at it, and now it's all coming true.
Well, no, I think I want to take credit, not Drabby. I've been hyping up JJ for a couple weeks. I went on the air, said JJ.
I don't know what you like. Yeah. You like so much stuff.
You like Jaden.
Yeah. That's why I had Mike Marr move. JJ's on my board, not on any of these other guys'
Is he spreading his
boards.
chips all over the table?
No.
Didn't you move Penix to number 2 last week?
I like Penix too.
All right, he likes Penix. He likes.
Who don't you
like? Daniels.
Caleb. I'm not on Caleb. I'm not really a Drake May guy.
You won't move Caleb off the board. You won't move Caleb off your board.
I might. I don't like Caleb, and I'm not in love with Drake May. I don't know
Going
what
on the food bar
Orlovsky saw or whoever saw Hasselbeck is the greatest thing ever.
Show Jason the video.
Jason,
just email it to me. It's fine.
There's a video of him. Where was he? Is at the game last night or something?
Well, he went to USC women's game, I'm guessing.
Yes, he was in it.
He's a different dude, man. That's all I'm going to say. He's different. Let's go to.
Did he have his fingernails painted again?
I think he did too. Did you see that with the fingernails painted again? Got it.
Although the guy at Duke who played Jared McCain, this freshman, he's on TikTok everywhere. He's got his fingernails painted. I mean, guys just do that now.
Well, they're stupid.
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Those guys are stupid.
But people would do it.
Let's go to Jimmy, Mechanicsville. Jimmy, what's up?
Hey, guys. What's happening?
Hey, Jim.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, I am definitely a JJ supporter. I think him and Jaden are pretty close, but you guys enlightened me on one factor. And, you all know I'm a howler. So this is a how factor. You guys were mentioning about throws under pressure, and that Jaden was in the how range and JJ was the best. That's the end of the conversation right there. If it's almost a dead heat,
no. JJ was the best in terms of under pressure. I mean, it was Penix. Penix is the one who's
Penix.
Yeah. But I think JJ
but
was
he's up
better,
there, right?
But JJ is definitely better than Jaden. Jaden's one of the worst.
Yeah, that's my factor right there, my de facto, because after the Howe thing, and I bit so hard on Howe, and then that played out to be so true, I'm not biting again on that one.
Right.
If you can't throw under pressure, I'm out.
Right.
So,
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you.
All right, guys, take care. Bye.
Thank you.